So you're not even going to try?
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's $150 if your team wins. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon to get started. With me, as always, is my producer, Steve Granado. Steve, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, Stacey? What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking on the show here today. We are still 5 days a week through the winter meetings. Now we know officially. So we are 5 days a week this week, next week, all the way through December 8th. So for every dares out there, once we hit December 8th, the following week, we'll be going to 3 times a week, just so you guys are aware. On today's show, however, we got to talk a little bit about this catching situation. So the Yankees have a whole bunch of 40-man catchers and not a whole bunch of place to put them. We'll talk about that, trade possibilities, who's likeliest. That's coming up later on in the show. But of course, Stacey, a bit of news we kind of had to dig deep for, but we did find something that we wanted to talk about here. This is coming from Jeff Passan, all reliable from ESPN. And of course, I will leave this link in the episode description. You do need an ESPN Plus account to read it, just so you are aware. The article is titled MLB Free Agency 2023, 10 teams to watch as free agency picks up. This is what Jeff Passan had to say about the Yankees. He's talking about the type of money that Hal Steinbrenner would pay, yada, yada, yada. But he said, yes, the Yankees are in strong on Yoshinobu Yamamoto. But the fact that arguably the most talented player ever is available in free agency and the Yankees are not believed to be in the mix speaks to their reticence to add the biggest contract in North American sports history to Judge, Cole, Rodon, and Stanton, who are owed more than $513 million over the next 4 seasons. Of course, Stacey, Jeff Passan is talking about Shohei Ohtani. We kind of got the hunch that the Yankees in general were not going to be super involved in this, but they're not in the mix at all, seemingly, according to this report at least.
That's annoying. That is so annoying to me. I get the money thing from their perspective, but you're the Yankees. You make so much money just from not doing anything, honestly. And you have the money to spend and you just don't, like, you have the chance to be the evil Yankees again. How? You can't get more evil than going for Shohei Ohtani and really like doing a push for Shohei Ohtani and then possibly landing Shohei Ohtani, to which all of baseball, you know, most people hate the Yankees already, but could you imagine the Yankees getting Shohei Ohtani, how much they'd be hated by the rest of baseball? I'm talking about fans. Like, I would have so much fun as a Yankee fan having Shohei Ohtani on the team because, yes, I know the arm, he can't pitch, but having that bat in your lineup, hello? I mean, that's a big upgrade right there. And from the right side of the plate. So, you know what I mean? The correct side of the plate. So do it. You're the Yankees. Holy cow. Like, if they don't even try, I will be so angry, way angrier than I was about the other people they didn't try for a few off seasons ago. This would really put me over the edge.
Yeah, because this is, in all likelihood, the only chance you're going to get, right?
Yeah, yes.
This is it.
Yeah.
Because this is anticipated, at least from everything we know, to be a long contract. I know people have thrown the idea around of sign a 1 year and then he can pitch again and the season after, like doing that. If you have an opportunity to sign an 8 to 10 year contract, maybe more, you're going to sign that in all likelihood, right? Because the money's going to be there. And look, money isn't everything. We know that about pretty much everybody and where Shohei's head is at from outside looking in, because I'm also going to be frank with you with just about everything about Shohei Ohtani. I kind of wanted to set the stage on this. No one really knows anything. Let's be real. Shohei has not talked about free agency for 2 whole years. So anytime you see insider predicts Shohei Ohtani will sign with, that's fake. It's BS. It's fluff. It's not real. Yeah. It is some random dude who's slightly smarter than us going, I think he's going to Oakland.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's nothing. So if you see anything like that, just as a PSA, Shohei hasn't talked about it. He's been extremely reluctant. He has been so guarded in all of this for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want anyone talking about it, right? It's seemingly he wants to go about the business his way. That's his prerogative. That's his life. It's his contract. It's his career. Do what you want, dude. Do what you want. It's your life.
Yeah.
But yes, at least from a guy that I trust in Jeff Passan, and I imagine most people in baseball trust, Yankees aren't in on the mix. And that's just not okay.
No, it's
I
not.
don't think because like Shohei's not someone that's going to fix all the Yankees' problems, right? They have more problems than one problem, and even the two problems that Shohei fixes.
Right. Yes, that's true.
So there are multiple issues, and it's a lot deeper than sign Shohei and it's good. You're good to go. We're going to win the whole dang thing 7 years in a row. That's not how it's going to work here.
No.
But what do I always say, Stace? Doesn't hurt. Shohei wouldn't hurt.
I mean,
and yes, we get the Stanton of this whole thing. Yes, we get the DH of this whole thing. We get it all.
Yeah.
But if you don't even go for it,
that's just
if you don't even pick up the phone, which again, just from this report, we don't know 100% everything around it. But if it's leaning in that direction, man, that's pretty inexcusable.
Yeah, that's the exact word. It's inexcusable. Just try. If he rejects you again, oh, well, you tried. It's better to try than not do anything. What's that Wayne Gretzky quote
you missed
about
100% of the shots that you
don't take?
Yeah.
Take a shot for the love of God. And no, he won't answer all the problems, but I'm just imagining Shohei Ohtani on the Yankees and just the joy at the stadium, because I remember what it was like when they signed Hideki Matsui and how filled with people from his native country in Yankee Stadium, how excited they were that Hideki Matsui was playing for the Yankees because he was the best player in Japan at the time, and he came over and he signed with the Yankees. I brought a friend to a game. He specifically wanted to go to Yankee Stadium for the first time to see Hideki Matsui, and he was so excited. He looked like a little kid when he walked in, and we were nearly 30 at that time. And I would love for someone else to get that kind of experience when they see Shohei Ohtani in a Yankee uniform. Like, oh, this is so amazing. Because, I mean, imagine all the business he would bring in, or all the people he would bring in, and any kind of like bobblehead day. It would be like lines up the wazoo, like it was for Matsui. Matsui had a bobblehead day in, I want to say it was like 2011. Like, it was after he played. And it was unbelievable how many people were there just for Matsui. And I feel like the same thing could happen with Ohtani. It would be great.
As someone who lives within a mile, not to dox myself, as someone who lives within a mile of Angel Stadium, let me tell you, yes, they bombard the place. It's amazing. It's amazing to see. The Shohei fandom stretches well past baseball. It's not even close. He was up for like sexiest man of the world, like, right? Like, was he just up for sexiest man? Didn't he win like one of the athlete awards?
I think so.
Like, yeah. So like, baseball aside, yes, of course, it's great for baseball. It's great for the sport. It's great for marketing. It's great for your franchise. It's great on so many fronts outside of baseball and in it too. Obviously, what he does on the field. That's probably why those things come with the territory. But yes, it would kill the 29 other teams.
Yes.
The 29 other teams will be fists in the air for a decade.
Oh yeah, like
and to be fair, the 29 teams that don't get him are going to be doing that regardless. But if it's the Yankees,
no matter who it is,
both fists in the air and maybe a finger as well.
Yeah. It's true. That's what I want. I just want that, because I want them to be like, they're hated, but it's not the same. It's not the same as it was, you know? And I want them to be hated again, because I like rooting for a team that everyone hates. It's fun.
No, I get that. I totally understand. Let us know how you're feeling about this report. Are we taking it out of context? Are we taking it too far, or are we not taking it far enough? I'm curious where everyone else's heads are at. When it comes to this, I haven't seen a whole ton of stuff surrounding this from the Yankees side of the internet. So I'm just curious where everyone lands with this report in particular, because it caught our eye, obviously, and we wanted to talk about it here today. Of course, don't forget, while you're in the comment section, leave your questions for Fan Mail Friday. We answer questions from our viewers every Friday. And of course, the way to guarantee answers is by joining the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the episode description for a 14-day free trial. All you gotta do is click it, sign up, try it for 2 weeks. You don't like it, you like hit stop or whatever, you reply stop, and then it's done. You don't even have to like go to a website or anything. It's like super, super easy. You get a whole bunch of really cool perks with that. Check it out. Again, in the episode description, there's a link to that and a link to a video explaining everything you get with it. It's super, super cool. All right, Stacey, our friends from Locked On Rays brought up the Yankees without us even telling them. Why were they talking about the Yankees? We'll tell you that next.
Score early this NFL season with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 moneyline bet. That's an easy $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. The app is a breeze to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and you can also combine prop bets on a game into a single game parlay for even more fun and more chances to win big. It's a bye week for the Giants, but not for the Jets, who will be at home against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons and the Jets are close record-wise. The odds are close as well, with the Falcons only being favored by 3, with the over-under set at 34 for now. And just so you know, the Yankees have 14-1 odds to win the 2024 World Series right now, and that's before they've made any possible upgrades. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
Back now here on Locked On Yankees. Hey, don't forget to check out the Locked On Sports Today 24/7 streaming YouTube channel. If you guys need some background sound and you want to learn about the top stories of the day, that's all you got to do. Search Locked On Sports Today on YouTube and it will pop up for you. Stacey, coming up on tomorrow's show, by the way, we're going to be hanging out with Javier Reyes, one of our favorites, host of Locked On Padres. And we're going to be talking a little Juan Soto stuff. Of course, that's probably the biggest news item thus far the offseason. So we're going to talk about that a little bit later tomorrow, so make sure to hit subscribe. But today, Stacey, from around the Locked On Network, our friends at Locked On Rays were talking about the Yankees on their show the other day. Let's go ahead and take a listen and a look at what they said.
The Rays seemingly desperately need a catcher, at least one catcher. And there are a couple teams that may be looking to offload some of their depth at that position. I was thinking maybe try to go after a Danny Jansen from the Blue Jays, a Christian Vasquez from the Twins, or trading, I know it's not popular, intra-division with the Yankees, Kyle Higashioka. I think they are starting to put more emphasis on Austin Wells and Jose Trevino. And maybe, you have a veteran catcher as a stopgap for a season to help, assist, and work with Rene Pinto.
Stacey, before we get to the Higgy side of this whole thing, where are you at with like intra-division trading? Like, do you care about that, especially considering now how the schedule is set?
It doesn't bother me. It's kind of, I get the whole, it's the Yankees. Why would they want to trade with the Yankees? But if it's going to help your team and if it's going, I don't know. I think with the whole spread out schedule, it doesn't really matter that much anymore.
Sure. You're likely going to see them anyway.
Yeah.
Like in all likelihood.
Yeah.
Okay. But to the actual part of it, a Higgy trade, obviously the Yankees have a whole bunch of catchers that are there or almost there. So where are you at with trading Higashioka?
I think it could be a smart move for the Yankees because, as you said, they have a lot of catchers, and it's not like he's way above anyone in skill set in that whole list of catchers. It's not like he's Jorge Posada. It's not like he's Yogi Berra. It's not like he's Thurman Munson, like that kind of a thing. I feel like if you traded him away, you wouldn't be missing a big chunk of anything. No offense. Higgy's been great. He's one of the veterans on the team, but he's not one of those guys that you should sit there and think, oh no, never trade him. We talked about Glaber yesterday. Don't trade Glaber, but Higgy, sure, because he could help another team, and you could probably get some sort of something back from the Rays for him.
Let's talk about that. Let's go into that side of things, Stacey. What is Higashioka's trade value? Um, Look, like you said, he's not a bona fide crazy best catcher in baseball. He's nothing like that, right? And that's fine. That's fine.
Right.
There can only be one. And his name is JT Realmuto. But so Higgy's in his last year of arbitration. He's probably going to make somewhere between $1.5, $2 million here this year. Obviously, they need to go to arbitration. They have through January to get that figured out. But yeah, so that's where he's at. This will be his last year of team control. Will he be extended? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to sign this big old contract and he's the catcher for the next 6 years. For me, that's just not going to happen. His bat on great days, on great stretches, is average, league average, maybe a little bit above if you're lucky.
Yeah.
The best thing he's probably got going for him, he's a good framer. That's about it. He was one of the top framers last season in Major League Baseball. So he adds you a little bit of defensive help there when it comes to framing pitches. Is he going to block everything under the sun? No. Is he going to throw out a whole bunch of runners? No. He is a decent catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Decent to good catcher, and that's fine. That's fine. You don't need a whole bunch out of your catchers, as we know. You'd always like to get it. You don't always get it. That's the case.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at Higashioka's trade value, especially considering the market of having not a whole bunch of big bat catchers on the free agency side, I think Higgy might get you a double or triple A prospect. You're hoping maybe top 35. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Obviously, he gives you some value in the veteran side of things. He gives you some value in the framing side of things. Like I said, he gives you a slight upside on the bat, but he's not a massive, massive difference maker. He just isn't, and that's okay. But when you're looking at his trade value, I think the veteran side of it is probably the best thing you're getting out of it if you're not going after guys like Austin Hedges, right? Or Martin Maldonado right now. Like if you're looking in the trade front, that's what Higgy brings to it. You'd be lucky to get a major league guy but I mean, like, I think it's a 1-for-1 swap. I don't think you're getting 3 prospects and 2 of them are top 15s. That's not what you're getting out of Higashioka.
No.
It would be a pretty minor move.
Yeah. But you know how the Rays grow these kids like out of a lab. You never know. What they get in return from the Rays could actually turn into something good because of how they always seem to turn into something good. But yeah, I feel bad that we're talking about Higgy like, oh yeah, it's perfectly fine to trade him. Like he's a perfectly fine player. It just
I like him. I like him as a dude. I think he's got a great head on his shoulders. We were talking about him the other day. I think he's going to be a probably major league manager one day. I think he's got that kind of head on his shoulders, or a NCAA manager one day. I really feel like he's got a great mindset, and that's good. That's all well and good. When it comes to the success of the Yankees, that only goes so far. Yeah,
and I feel like the Yankees have other guys who can help. You know, they brought in Brad Ausmus to be bench coach, former catcher. He could help someone like Austin Wells. They don't really need a guy like Higgy to help out the kids, and the Rays do. And I think that would be a great move.
Yeah. When we're considering here, like, obviously the Yankees have 2 major league catchers that are fairly similar in Higashioka and Jose Trevino, who they also kind of talked a little bit there on that Locked On Rays episode. If it comes to Trevino or Higgy, it's a slight edge on keeping Trevino, I would think. They're, again, fairly similar when it comes to catching. Trevino's a little bit younger. He's 3 years younger. He has 2 more years, including this one in arbitration. So he has through the next season, through 2025. So you have a little bit more control there, and it gives you a little bit more time to get Austin Wells acclimated. Right. And kind of usher in the way for the Rortvet Wells of this whole thing. So yeah, if it came down to 1 or 2 of them, Stacey, do you favor one or the other as far as keeping, like Trevino or Higgy?
Oof. I don't, like you said, they're really close. I feel like it's kind of like a coin toss kind of a thing, if that makes sense. Like I feel like they're just so close that maybe the age thing factors into it, and I'd rather keep Trevino around just because he's 3 years younger, because catching is not an easy thing to do. And I feel like since Trevino literally just turned 30 this week, he has a little bit of advantage there in the age thing, but they're just so similar that it wouldn't be an easy pick for me.
Yeah. I mean, clearly off the injury thing, Trevino too. So like there is that aspect of it you have to consider.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say, I'm gonna say this. I wouldn't be shocked if one of them were gone by opening day, but I also wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, they didn't trade one of them
Right.
by opening day. You know,
Right.
like that's kind of where I land with it, because in my head, Wells is not an opening day roster guy unless there's injuries or a trade or two.
I would agree with that.
Or both of those things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like Higgy gets traded, Trevino's hurt, so it's Rortvet Wells opening day.
Hmm.
So
Well, I mean, assuming Garrett Cole would be the opener, I think Rortvet would be the opening day catcher.
yeah. Rortvet's opening. I'm saying just opening roster.
No,
period,
I know.
Not starting. Yeah. Either way, it's Rortvet's going opening day.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see where they land with it. Of course, that's not all there is to consider when you're looking at the catching situation. They're starting to get a log jam up top. So we need to talk about the Yankees catching situation as a whole, look at that 40-man roster and what they might do. That's next. Back now on Locked On Yankees. Hey, we want to talk a little bit more about this catching situation here today before we say adios to y'all. Stacey, the rotation for 2024, we kind of touched on it, but where is it at in your head? Like, again, no one's hurt, opening day. Where is it at? Is it still Higgy Trevino for opening day next year? Did anybody else do anything enough to supplant them?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Other than the personal catcher thing, no. I feel like it's them too, if nothing gets done during the offseason.
Yeah. Where would you put it in your head that the Yankees make a move before opening day in the catching front? Because they clearly don't really need to sign anything.
No.
But again, there's also not a lot out there on the catching front. It's like Martin Maldonado, it's really what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But or again, Austin Hedges. But they're not severe upgrades. Maldonado is an upgrade with his arm over Higgy and Trevino. Upgrade over Rortvet's arm, and I haven't seen enough of Wells to know. Yeah, like where are you at with that front? Like that they make a move?
I mean, they have to. They have too many people, right? Like, this is a surplus of people. And I know it's the whole, well, what if someone gets injured and what if this happens and we have these guys that we can, but there's too many catchers. Like, there were too many outfielders at one point. I don't know. I feel like someone's going to get moved. There's so much talk about it that I feel like it's going to happen. I don't know.
I don't think here's my depth. It's Higgy Trevino right now. If opening day was tomorrow, it's Higgy and Trevino.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's Rortvet right after. He's the first call.
Yes.
Then it's Wells. He's the second call. And then just based off of 40-man, it's Carlos Narvaez and Agustin Ramirez right thereafter. Anything past that, which is alarm bells, the world ended, something happened.
Yeah. There's like a comet
Josh
heading
Bro.
towards Earth.
Yeah, it's Josh Bro, and then it's Ben Rice. So like, in reality, you're talking about 4 catchers for 2 spots. I think they would like to send Wells back to AAA. I think they would like Rortvet to be up.
I think so too. I feel like if they really want Wells to be a future catcher, they probably would send him back down to AAA and have him work on some things.
Yeah. And
then possibly bring him back up. I feel like Rortvet has the inside track just simply because of the whole Cole connection, because Cole seemed to like pitching with him toward the end of the year. And, I mean, Cole's not one of those guys that's so strict that he won't throw to certain guys, but I feel like he had a comfort with Rortvet there, and I feel like that gives him an inside track there ahead of Wells. But I do feel like Wells has to work on some things first.
Oh,
and I feel like that's
absolutely.
The best.
I mean, especially with his bat. Clearly,
Yeah.
It was small sample, clearly, but it also was not working. He was chasing a lot in the majors, a lot. He was overpowered in the majors, which is understandable, completely understandable. That's why he was a September guy. Like, he wasn't a guy you called up in early August, clearly. That's completely fine. I mean, what did I say all year, Stacey? I still think Wells is 2 years away, right? 2 to 3 years away. I said that over and over and over again.
Yeah, with the way the season went, that's the only reason why some of these guys were called up, because the Yankees pretty much knew we're not going anywhere. Nothing's going to happen. So let's bring these kids up, give them some playing time, let them get some experience and stuff. And, there were a couple of guys that we clearly knew came up a little too early. It happens.
Yeah, Everson Pereira.
Yes.
Right. That was another one right there. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, like if there was any one guy to move, I know we kind of touched on that. I feel like Higgy is the least impact to the Yankees. Again, I know he's a vibes guy and everyone likes him and he's well liked on the team. And yes, that shouldn't be discounted. But you got a ball club to run. You got a ball club to run. So if you were to move any of them, it's Higgy first. I think Trevino gives a little bit more upside as far as the bat is concerned, which the Yankees are clearly lacking in. Higgy does better, shouldn't say well. He does better against left-handed pitchers. So you're just like, is that really moving the needle here? So yeah, I think the only thing that holds me back is how is Trevino recovering from his injury?
Right. Because that is a tricky injury to come back from.
Because if you move Trevino and you keep Higgy, right, if we're going in that direction, that's really banking, okay, Rortvedt 2025 is your starting catcher.
Yeah.
And Wells is your backup.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty
Wells
much
is playing 3 times a week and Rortvedt's the other side. And are you putting that 100% faith in that? I like that. I like that cushion of Trevino.
Yeah, I do too. When you put it that way. Yeah.
Because you have that cushion that Trevino is your starting catcher in 2025.
Yeah.
And Rortvedt's your backup with Wells on the cusp right there, ready to go. He's your first call.
That feels better.
That feels better than, Rortvedt with Wells backed up and Narvaez is your first call.
Yeah.
Or or if he 40-man Rice or something.
Mm-hmm.
But Ben Rice was barely in AA. Like it's the timing's a little off here, right? It's a little off.
Yeah.
So I think we've reached a consensus. I think it's Higgy.
Yeah, I think so too. Sorry, Higgy.
Sorry, Higgy. Love you, dude.
Love
I can't
you.
wait till you're the head coach of Nebraska. I can't wait. I can't wait till you're raising the College World Series trophy over your head in Omaha. Can't wait. Very excited. Let us know your thoughts on these. Again, we kind of touched on it in the second segment, but this rotation, it's not just for starting pitching anymore. Rotation here.
Yeah.
That's what you come to Locked On Yankees for on November 29th is catching rotations, right? That's what
we had Thanksgiving dishes as a starting rotation on Thanksgiving, so we might as well make it a once a week theme, some sort of rotation segment.
All right. Then we're gonna go to bench coach rotation.
I was thinking hitting coach in my head.
There you go. Well, that's been a rotation. That's been a revolving door more than a rotation.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know how you're feeling about this stuff here today. Of course, we talked about the Shohei stuff. Are you upset at that? I want to know in the comment section here on YouTube. Always leave your questions in Fan Mail Friday. Reply to that pinned comment down below. Join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. Do all that stuff. Hit subscribe. Don't miss our conversation with Javier Reyes tomorrow as well. And that's going to do it for today's Locked On Yankees. I'm Steve Granado.
And I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. We'll see you tomorrow.